All right, Friday morning, just went to tennis. I'm feeling pretty good. Just want to do that spreadsheet homework, figuring out the quantity that we're going to produce in a company that has market power. Let's get to it. Should be in Blackboard in week 7. So similar to what I went over to class the other day. First thing I want to figure out is the total revenue, right? So it's zero output and $16,000. A car is going to be, better be zero, right? Because 0 times this, boom, comes out as a 0, comes with a dash because the numbers have been formatted. Throw it down, and again, never hurts to just double click down below. Yeah, it's taking that 2 times the 14,500, and that better be 29,000. So here's my total revenue. Here's again the price for each car demanded. Again, goes down as I sell more of these cars, right? So marginal revenue, I can't have marginal revenue at 0 because what's the marginal revenue between 0 and 1 output? It's going to be 15,000 because I'm looking at total revenue. What's the difference between 0 and 1 in total revenue? So it's equal this 15,000 minus this 0, and better be 15,000, but when I copy it down for the next one, it looks like it should be 14,000. It is. And it never hurts just to double click, make sure it is working correctly, right? Yeah, it does take that 29,000 minus the 15,000. So my fixed costs are going to be, because if I've got 0 output and my total cost is 5,000, that's got to be my fixed cost. So I'm just going to equal here, click on the 5,000 and absolute it because I want the same fixed cost all the way down, because as we know, fixed cost does not vary with output. It can vary over time, but doesn't vary with output. So same all the way down. So now we can figure out the variable cost, and it's basically going to be my total cost minus my fixed cost. So I can do for the first one, that will be 0 because I have no variable cost if I'm not producing anything. This minus this comes out as another 0 or a dash. But I throw it down, there's 8,000 here, right? I'm just going to double click here. Yeah, it takes the 13,000 total cost minus the fixed cost, because again, total cost is made up of fixed cost and variable costs. So if I know my fixed cost and I know my total cost, I can figure out the variable cost. And now marginal cost, here's one of the big ones we want to find, because this will allow us to figure out the profit maximization quantity output. Marginal cost, again, for the first unit sold between 0 and 1, what's the marginal cost? What's the difference in cost between 0 output and 1 output? So I'm going to take this total cost for the 1 output, 13,000, minus the total cost for 0 output, the 5,000. Right? Just working with that total cost column here. Comes out to 8,000, which does make sense. I can do the math in my head. I throw it down, and then here are my marginal costs. And it never hurts to just check this one here between number 5, right? Between 4 and 5, it takes the total cost for 5 minus the total cost for 4. That's the marginal cost for the 5th, again, output. Escape to get out of there. Now I'll find my average total cost, and I'm just going to do for the first unit sold, because I don't want to divide by 0 errors. So I'm taking my total cost here, right? And again, the first unit sold divided by 1, right? 13,000 divided by 1 better be 13,000. But when I copy it down, it's 20,000 divided by 2. That better be 10,000. So when I copy it down, perfect. Same thing for variable cost, but here I'm looking for the average variable cost. So I take the variable cost, right, divided by the output. Again, I'm just doing this on row 1 across. Row 1, the output 1 across. Right, 8,000 divided by 1 better be 8,000. But when I copy it down, 15,000 divided by 2 better be 7,500, right? So if I double click here, it's taking this 15,000 divided by 2. And now to figure out my profits, again here I can do this on the 0 one because, again, you want to calculate this because it'll allow you to understand when to shut down. If my variable costs are greater than my fixed cost, I'm in trouble. So I'm just going to, my profit is going to be always my total revenue, right? Profit minus my total cost, right? What I take in minus what I pay out, negative 5,000. I throw this thing down, I can see my profit maximization is here or here. I'm just going to go across and see where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Boom, there are my answers for these things. Let's just do the graph quick here. I want to do graph it's the hardest part of this graph, I think. I'm going to do output, so I'm clicking once on output, and then just once I do that, I'm holding my control key down and trying to be symmetrical with what I highlight. So I'm going to skip the 0 and just go from 1 down, and then I'm going to go demand, and then go from the first value here down. Notice symmetrical, right? Same number of cells selected from one column to the next. And then what? MR I want to do, and then MC. I may have messed up there. And then ATC. All right, let's see if it works. Expect it not to work, right? You live a lot longer. So I'm going to insert, scattered, and yeah, I clicked one extra cell. I hate that when I do that. Let me try again. I felt myself click that one extra cell. I expect it not to work though, so I don't have a heart attack. This time I'm going to be a little more deliberate. I think I got it. Ta-da! Then I'm just going to change my scaling here. The minimum y-axis 4,000. That looks a lot better. So here I can see where the magic starts, right? Where marginal cost hits marginal revenues right here. That'll be 6 output. And then I go up and there will be my selling price, right? Again, when you hit this point, you just want to go up or down. And again, at this point, we're above the average total cost. So this place is making economic profit. So give it a try. I don't think it's that hard to do, but you never know. Email me if you have a